what figure do you regret either passing on and or selling, right? And obviously, an example for me would be, of course, the Dark Side Anakin figure that I had and then rebought because I really love that figure and I really love that version of the character. Revenge of the Sith is, I think, one of the best Star Wars films. I really love it. The other prequel two films I'm not crazy about, but I really love Revenge of the Sith. I think that's a great one that they really hit their stride on. But that Dark Side Anakin's a fantastic figure, as is the Light Side Anakin. Really, that's a great figure too. They're both really, really great. But the Dark Side with the base, with the head sculpt, all that stuff. There's also one other figure that I'm either going to wait for another 2.0 or whatever, or go searching for at some point. And this is another figure I sold because I got top dollar for it at the time. Someone gave me $500 for it. I was like, cool, let's do it. Right. This is a figure that I do kind of miss. It's this one. This is a really, really good figure. This is Alec Guinness Obi-Wan from A New Hope, and it's, I think, one of the best Hot Toys head sculpts that I've ever seen in person. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great. I think this is an iconic Obi-Wan, obviously, from the first Star Wars film, Episode 4. So I would love to get this one back in my collection at some point. So it's one figure that I regret selling, right? Not necessarily passing on, but I passed it on to another collector. That said, Kiko, is there any figure you regret passing on, like you didn't pre-order or buy, and now it's expensive, or that you sold at some point? You know, what do you think? What figure do you kind of want in your collection that you miss?
I actually had to pull up my spreadsheet because there's not
you just buy what you want, bro. That's why.
That too, and there's not like any that I miss because I usually get the ones I want. But I did sell something that you can't readily get anymore that I do wish I had. When I did my DC purge and I got rid of a lot of the things, like when I got rid of the Justice League, I'm like, there's no need for me to have these because I came into them. My buddy gave them to me essentially. You know, I kept them for a little while and I was like, I just don't need all these things. I was getting too crazy with the DC stuff, and Batman's pretty much the only thing that I keep with. So as I built out my more Batman stuff, there was one figure that I had sold from that initial lot of Batman pieces that I do wish I had back. And that's Batman Arkham Knight, the one that can transition into Red Hood as well as, you know, just Arkham Knight as well. It's such a unique thing to where it's like a little bit of, you know, space battle type, you know, robot looking thing. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. It's not your typical Batman figure, which is why I moved it on, but I do miss it. And I think for what you get, it's pretty cool. It's extremely posable. And when you can switch him over to Red Hood, because you literally just make him red or blue, I think the Red Hood stuff looks really, really cool. And that's the one that I miss, man.
Yeah, that's a unique looking Batman. I got to say, that's pretty cool. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's a very unique, sort of almost like Iron Man looking Batman.
Like Iron Man versus RoboCop type thing. Yeah. But if there was a way to do like a 2.0, I'm talking about that stuff. I wish they would make it USB powered because they were a bitch. The little lights that go on in the head are very hard to see, and you're only getting like 5 minutes worth of lights out of it anyway. So that's my only complaint about it.
Okay. Well, Javier, bro, what do you think, bro? What's the figure that you regret either passing on or selling? What do you regret most?
I think there's two that come to mind, but it's weird because for me, I sold them. I don't have them anymore. I mean, I have one of them is Ragnarok Loki. And to me, I remember I sold that figure and bought that figure and sold that figure and bought that figure and sold it 3 times and rebought it 3 times. I'm about to sell it now for a 4th time because now I got the Endgame version. And the same thing could be said for the Infinity War Captain America. To me, I bought that figure and sold it like 3 times all over. And so then I got the stealth suit version, you know, so I don't have it on display yet, but you know, it's in storage right now, the stealth suit. But these are figures to me that I just really enjoyed the movie. And to me, they were the first versions of these characters that I got. So they held a special place in my collection. I couldn't let them go. And then when I did, I wanted them back, you know, and this Loki was cool. And this Loki, I mean, I still have it over here. It's definitely one of the costumes that represent Loki, but is more like a slim version of it. Like you can tell it's Loki, but it's like, I guess, not as big as the Endgame one. The head sculpt isn't all that good. But to me, this was something that I just kept on gravitating back to. And while I don't regret getting the Endgame version now and replacing it with, I'm going to end up selling this. This is something that, you know, I have fond memories of, and I can be like, yeah, this is a cool pickup, and I appreciate having it in my collection and stuff. But definitely, you know, I remember for the first time I sold it to my friend Ben Hoffman, and he was he has the figure, he enjoys it, and he always sends me pictures with his full Marvel collection, and it looks so cool. And then I think after one picture that he sent me, how everything just looked, I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm picking this up again, and I rebought it. Same thing for this Captain America. There's something about the proportions on this specific cap that I just appreciate more so than the stealth suit cap, than the 10-year anniversary, like all black one. I know people say that one had the better proportions out of all the caps till that date, but there was something about this Captain America that to me, he just looked really buff, really like the traps were good, like everything just like he just looked like he was pulled out from the movie, except for that health sculpt. And I remember that being a little bit hit or miss for me, but it just looked really cool. It looked imposing. It came with some cool accessories, and it came from my favorite movie, Infinity War, which still remains my favorite MCU movie.
Same.
So getting rid of it was like painful for me, and I was like, damn, I rebought it, and then I sold it again when I got the Endgame, and then I rebought it, and then I sold it again when I got the Endgame stealth suit. So this is one of those figures that was definitely one that I was, contemplating, and I regret passing on it and or regret selling it.
Dude, honestly, Javier, with this Captain America, if the head sculpt were as good as it should have been, I probably would definitely have this figure.
Yeah, I love the pretty look.
Well, see, I do too, Kyo. I love this Infinity War look, and Infinity War is my favorite film. Period. Like
I'm about to watch it tonight for real.
Yeah, dude, it's the pinnacle of MCU entertainment, of superhero. I think it's the best superhero film ever made. Like I even like it. I like it more than The Dark Knight, which is
that's
crazy.
Not true. That's not true.
It is, dude. The Dark Knight is up there. It's like number 2 or 3, but Infinity War to me is the best superhero film ever. I just think it's phenomenal in every way. So this Captain America, I would love to have it, but it's just the head sculpt. It was something with the lip and the beard. It didn't quite match perfectly, and you can't put a helmeted sculpt on this one because he didn't have it. So it doesn't have the shield for some people, but yeah, it's I think this figure you can still get pretty. And also, I was hoping at some point that they would make the Proxima and Corvus because of the accessories you got here.
Right.
But they never did. Hopeful one day, summer exclusive, baby. Summer exclusive. It's gonna happen.
Black Order. Great.
Because even if they don't make Call Obsidian, like Kiko said, like they make the other 3. And then, there'll be summer exclusives, like maybe they'll make them 500 a piece or something, like 500 pieces. And they might end up being $500 a piece. And I would probably still pay that because I would just love to have the Black Order. But
what if they made the other ones, but they give you a Cole Obsidian piece that you need to get all of them to build them, like a Build-A-Figure?
Oh my God, dude.
Hot Toys?
That would be crazy.
They're already doing big Marvel Legends with that $20.99.
Or like I said, dude, honestly, I think people would be more than okay if you make Cole Obsidian a power pose or like a statue. Just make him like non-articulated. He has his hammer in his hand. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
He's too big to make
Shark.
articulated.
King Shark.
Yeah, right. Exactly. King Shark. So I think that'd be fine. Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What figure do you regret on selling or passing? I think it's an interesting conversation.